create an appointment. The previous tutorial explained in detail how to manage and look at your dashboard. So if you haven't seen that video, please go back to the first tutorial and have a look at that. You can get some good information there. So we are going to now focus on how to create appointments. Now there are two different ways of creating appointments. You can create an appointment manually, meaning that you create appointments as they come. So each appointment is created individually. Or if you have multiple appointments already set up, and let's say you have 20 appointments, you would not want to do this manually. You can actually do it in bulk. So you will create a batch of appointments and you will load it onto Assist Suite, and Assist Suite will do the rest for you. So let's get started. The first thing you do is when you open your Assist Suite tool, you will first see the dashboard. So what you need to do is to go to the Create tab right here. Now once you open the Create tab, you will first see your manual appointment creation tool. So for example, you want to set an appointment with a Mr. John Smith who would like to come and see you on the 25th of October and at, let's say, 2 p.m. So what you will do, you will first click on the calendar tab. Okay, then you have a calendar that pops up, and then you will choose the date, which is the 25th of October. Okay, then you will click on the time, and we said 2 o'clock, so you will, there you go, you will get to 2 o'clock. Next thing, you will put his first name, so John, last name Smith, and now you have to enter his telephone number. This is the number that we will use to contact him. So Assist Suite will use this number to contact Mr. John Smith. Now the format is very important. Make sure that you use the standard format, which will start with 0, then A2 for example, and then we're creating a fictitious number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for example. Okay, so this is Mr. Smith's phone number. Now Mr. Smith could be an individual, or Mr. Smith could represent a company. So if it's an individual, you leave the company tab empty. If he owns a company, then you will insert the company. This is not a mandatory option, so you can leave it open. Now that you've put in the details of Mr. Smith and the date and time of the appointment, you're now going to configure Assist Suite to instruct Assist Suite when to contact Mr. Smith and to remind them of his appointment with you. So you will go to reminders and you will click on that, and you have different options. The first option is 30 minutes before the appointment. This option would generally be used if, let's say, for example, Mr. Smith contacted you, or you contacted Mr. Smith, let's say around 9 a.m. that day, and his meeting is at 2 p.m. You would want to remind them maybe half an hour before the appointment to make sure that he doesn't forget, or you can choose to remind them 1 hour before the appointment. Or if Mr. Smith set the appointment a couple of days before and you want to remind him, you can decide to remind him 1 day before the appointment. Now, if it's 1 day before the appointment, Mr. Smith will be contacted at 3 o'clock in the afternoon the day before the appointment. Or you can choose to remind Mr. Smith on the same day, on the day of the appointment, and he will be reminded at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you have a choice here of when do you want Assist Suite to remind Mr. Smith. So let's say in this case, we would like to remind him one day before. Okay. Now, what is the status of this appointment? It's a new appointment, obviously. What is the bearer? That means that what means of communication would you like Assist Suites to use to communicate with Mr. Smith? At this point, it will be SMS. And below here, you will see Assist Suite has already pre-populated messages for you. So you don't have to create your own message. So basically, this is the message that will go out to Mr. Smith. Now you can actually change the message if you would like to. So you will just click on the message and then you can actually edit it. Now the time slot here will be the one that is included in your schedule. Okay, so it will make sure that the right time will fit into that message. Okay, so now once you've done this, you will just save and you will see that your appointment was added successfully. Now, how do you verify that the appointment was added successfully? You can go back to your dashboard and you will see on the 25th, oh, okay, at 2 o'clock, there's an appointment for Mr. John Smith. You can also click on that and you will see the appointment that you've created for Mr. Smith. Now, the other way to verify that Mr. Smith appointment was created, you must go to Appointments, you click on Appointments, and you will see here the date, the time, the name of the customer. It will be sent via SMS. This is his phone number, and the status is new. Now, in terms of actions, you can actually click here and it will show you again the appointment created in case you want to make some changes. Okay. Otherwise, the appointment has been created. Now, the second part of this tutorial is how to create appointments but based on a batch of customers. Now, to do that, we first have to create the list of our customers. How do we do that? You will go to the Help tab here and you will just click on the sample CSV file. So if you click on this, because it will give you, it will show you the way to create your list. So you have a sample there. So it's going to open an Excel document. Okay. This is a sample. So on the type tag here, you will leave SMS. Okay. Then you will fill in the telephone numbers of all your customers that are in your batch. So I'm going to just create a few of them. There we go. So these are the numbers of the clients. These are their names, first name, last name, company. You can leave without without inserting anything. The date, just make sure that you use this format in terms of creating your date. So make sure that we have the right dates here. Okay, and then the month I'm gonna put November, and the time it will be in this format. The times are there. Do not worry about currency or amount. This does not apply to appointment reminders, so you don't need to worry about those. Let me just actually take it off. There we go. Okay. Now you're gonna go to File, and you're gonna want to save it. You can save this file, I would say, uh, on the desktop. Okay, and I want to call it sample file 1, for example. And I'm going to, you see, you need to make sure that you save this file as a CSV, so it will already be there, so comma delimited. You save it. Okay, now I can close it. Save. Okay, so now we've saved the file. I go back to my dashboard. Then you go to import. You choose your file. We saved it on the desktop, so we're gonna look for it. There we go, your sample file there, and I open it, and you see the sample file will appear on the right hand side here. I want to remove, click on the remove duplicate in case you have a big file and you have the same appointment twice or something like that, so you remove that, and then I save it. Now that I've saved it, you see I've added 4 appointments out of 4, and they were all successfully imported. And you will see them right here. All 4 are right here. The previous one is the Mr. John Smith that we created earlier. You can now go to your dashboard. You see this is month of October. So you go to month of November because that's when the appointments were created, and you will see the 4 appointments. They are here, and they are color coded, and they are in blue because we have not yet contacted them. Okay, so they will be contacted at the right time, and then the color will change to either confirmed or no feedback or reschedule or cancel or decline based on what the customer wants to do. There we go. So this is the end of the tutorial on how to create appointments. Very simple to do. We're going to now go to the next tutorial, which will show you how to check your inbox and the reporting once a customer has responded to you. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next video.